Aaron Cantu here with Seniesa Super Bad Estrada.
What's up?
19-0, 8 knockouts. And you captured the WBA flyweight title, the regular title, when you beat Marlon Esparza last year. And you just came off a 7-second knockout, which was the fastest women's boxing knockout in history. First of all, what are we doing here today?
So today we are here at my first annual toy giveaway in Sereno, which is the community that I grew up in. That's right by East LA. I was born in Boyle Heights, and that's where my family's from, and where my parents grew up, and I was raised here in Sereno.
Good deal. Seniesa, your last knockout was a viral knockout. Just kind of reflect on that knockout, and fastest knockout in women's boxing history.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people can't be mad at me. I just went in there and I did my thing. You know, I don't make the matches. I just go in there and I fully prepare for anybody who they put in front of me. And I went in there and I did my thing. You know, not knowing that it was only going to take 7 seconds, but yeah.
Yeah, you knocked her out so fast. It was no fault of your own. You were doing your job. You knocked her out. I mean,
right.
You did what you had to do. But there was some backlash from media and some of the fans, more toward like the commission and Golden Boy, because that girl really had no business being in there with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters who are very skilled and talented, who fight people who have no business being in the ring in there with them. Some of them take them out early. Some of them don't take them out at all, and I'm just that type of fighter. You put somebody in there with me who's not supposed to be in there, I'm gonna take them out as soon as possible, you know? And there's a lot of fighters who, for example, like who Ryan Garcia fights, who aren't supposed to be in the ring in there with him, and he knows that, so his skill level is so high, and he's just so good that he just takes him out with one punch in the first round, and you don't really hear any backlash about that. But I think because people aren't used to seeing that in women's boxing, and the way I did it just so viciously and so quickly, it just was something that wasn't really, it just wasn't really expected and seen in women's boxing. People aren't used to seeing that, so I think that's why where a lot of the backlash came from. Oh, 1 second, I'm just
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
You're good. All right, Seniesa, so just reflect on your viral knockout. You got LeBron James talking about it, like the whole sports world was talking about it.
Yeah, LeBron was talking about it. LeBron has been very supportive. His supplement company, Ladder, is one of my sponsors. So I love Ladder. I'm grateful to Ladder. So you know, thanks to LeBron for always supporting my fights. It means a lot to me. It's a big thing, definitely, for the sport.
For sure. Now, just to put it to rest, Marlon Esparza, would you give her a rematch?
Yeah, I would give her a rematch. I said I would, but then I haven't heard anything back. You know, if it does happen, I know Golden Boy wants her to get some world titles and have me get some as well. But yeah, I'm willing to give her a rematch. She can come to my weight, 108 pounds, to do it, because I moved up to make the fight happen the first time. But yeah, I'm willing to do it again.
You're still open to fighting her.
Definitely.
That's what's up. Now, I was just talking to your dad, but the girl Kenia Enriquez, she's a WBC interim title holder at junior flyweight, which is where you're campaigning right now. Are you looking to entertain a fight with her in 2021, or?
I mean, I want girls who have world titles.
So the interim title is not.
It's not going to do anything for me. I would want to fight somebody who has a world title, which is why I'm going straight for like Yesenia Gomez, Annabelle Ortiz, those girls that have the actual world title.
There's an Argentinian girl, I think her name's like
Bob. Yeah, but they just took the title away from her because she's been so inactive and she hasn't really fought. So 2 fighters from Mexico just fought for that vacant world title now. So the one who won, I believe her name's Guadalupe Bautista. I would like to fight her now.
So you just want champions at
I just want champions.
108 and 110, right?
105, 108, and I also want to fight at 112 after I, unify 105 and 108.
Gotcha. What do you make of Clarissa Shields trying to make the transition to MMA?
I mean, I think that's cool. You know, good for her. I wish Clarissa the best. I hope that she is successful in MMA and that she does her thing. I mean, I think it's cool for her to be open to trying MMA. I mean, it's good. It's good for her.
But you wouldn't make that. You wouldn't ever be an MMA, right?
I wouldn't right now until I, you know, accomplish what I want in boxing first. And I know that she is she's undisputed, so she's pretty much accomplished what she wanted to at her weight division. So that's why now, you know, she's willing to move on to other goals and different things. But I still have a lot of bouts to win, so
for sure.
I'll still be staying in boxing for sure.
Seniesa, the big fight against Marlene, they really did a lot for kind of just your notoriety and stuff. How big of a star do you really believe you can be? You're hanging out with Danny Trejo and stuff.
I mean, I've always known it since I was a little girl. Before I even started boxing, I always known that I was gonna, you know, be where I'm at today, and I know the potential that I have for myself and for the sport of women's boxing and for the sport of boxing in general. So I believe, like, with the right promotion, with the right fights and the right stage, you know, sky's the limit to the superstardom that I can bring to the table.
That'd be crazy if one day you could be the first to ever like have a pay-per-view or like a women's pay-per-view or something.
I hope so.
A couple more. I noticed this is a while back, but you enrolled in WBC random year-round drug testing. What does that mean? I know that basically means like you pledged to being a clean fighter. What is your take on PEDs and boxing in general, and just being a clean fighter?
I feel like every fighter and every female fighter should definitely enroll in that, because I mean, what do you have to hide? I mean, I have nothing to hide. I'm a clean fighter. Never even thought of using any sort of PEDs. You know, I know my abilities and my skills and what I'm capable of. So I feel like that needs to be kind of mandatory for every fighter, because why not? If you don't want to do it, then you're obviously hiding something. And I think for female boxing, it's not taken very seriously when it comes to testing. Like as far as like in Mexico or all these other countries, they definitely don't go by the rules, that's for sure. So there's a lot of things that can be easily hidden. You don't know who's on PEDs. I know in the U.S. that's a bit more strict, but it's still not as strict as it should be in the U.S. or in any other countries. For female boxing, especially, it's not. It needs to be definitely more people just need to be more aware of what can possibly be going on and make the testing mandatory.
And Seniesa, like, obviously that means, like, do you respect fighters that take PEDs and win world titles? Like,
no,
you wouldn't respect that, right?
Definitely not. Yeah.
So what needs to change, really? You know, because it just needs to be more regulation, right?
Yeah, more regulation. I think more fighters who are clean need to demand that everybody gets tested. You know, if we complain about it and then you know, just let it go or don't really try to put a stop to it, then it's just going to keep on happening. So I think we just got to definitely demand it and make it mandatory.
That's what's up. And your reaction, kind of tough news. What is your reaction to Canelo departing from Golden Boy?
It's sad to see him go, but you know, I hope he's successful. I'm a big fan of Canelo. I hope he's successful, no matter what he does. I know he's going to be. He's one of the best fighters in the world right now, or the best fighter in the world, should I say, right now.
That's what's up. Thank you, Seniesa, for taking the time. We're right here at Seniesa's first annual toy drive.
You want one by yourself?
Huh? It's not on my face.
That's a good one. That's a blessing. Here, take these too.
I think it's funny that I still smile. Like hard, like I'm real serious about it. Yeah, okay, happy holidays. Well, smile. I didn't know. You can see it in my eyes. Hey, we have to close that. They're running out of it, right? So yeah, he's having so weird. That's out. You get a picture of you and Seniesa.
So he got the 5-year-old boy. We just need to grow.
It's a dry And I got my new horse in back too.
You gotta have a name now. I gotta go with a name, man.
Seniesa, look, I have a picture way back in the with Chantel when she first started boxing. This was, I think, at the Stunt Club.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been one big inspiration for her, you know, and you're opening up the doors for Chicanas and boxing and bringing the sport where it should be. And like I told your dad earlier, you know, congratulations on all your success and your continuous success coming up. All right, Tim? Keep it up.
Hey,
How you doing?
Good, my brother.
How's everything?
Good. Everything's good, brother. Had a good turnout.
Yeah. What you guys got going on right here?
We got a Seniesa's first annual toy giveaway for all the kids from our community, El Sereno. She was raised, so you know, I always taught her to give back to her community and not expecting anything back. That's the way she was raised.
Yeah, and Joe, I just want to get real quick. Just what was your reaction to Seniesa's last knockout? 7 seconds, fastest in women's boxing history.
I didn't think it was going to be 7 seconds, but I knew she would knock her out right away. It was like a last 2 weeks replacement. We had world champions. Like the first opponent was Jackie Calvo. She hurt her knee. We asked Guadalupe Bautista, who just won a title last week. And she had visa problems. We asked the girl Corina Moreno up north. I asked her, someone that works with her, Blanca Gutierrez, I asked them if they would take the fight. They didn't want to do it at this time.
So this girl that she knocked out was a replacement opponent?
2 weeks before, we just kept, you know, like I said, I kept asking other girls. They said no. Some couldn't come because of the visa problems. Some just simply said no. Some just weren't in the gym.
That's crazy. So, what was your reaction to her knockout going viral?
Oh, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. Actually, someone just posted like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and within 24 hours, they had 4 million views also.
Yeah, and LeBron James like retweeted it and stuff.
He retweeted, yeah. And the Zone had like, I think they went like viral 5 million, you know. So it was crazy,
savage
bro. I knew it was
knockout.
gonna happen. I didn't know it was gonna happen that quick. Because the girl, although we didn't know not much about her, all we knew that she had 5 wins and 5 knockouts. I couldn't find any film on her. So it didn't really, you know, it didn't matter. I didn't know who she was. I'm sure she wasn't, you know, but they thought they could win.
Yeah. There was backlash just because, but that was no fault of your guys.
Yeah,
you guys did your job.
Was she gonna go in there and get hit by a wild punch and she knocked Seniesa down and Seniesa's all hype.
Yeah.
She had to go do what she needs to do. That's what she's trained for.
For Seniesa in 2021, can we expect her in fights against like the opposition, like the girl Canelo, who's the WBC interim title holder at light flyweight?
Once Canelo wins the world title, because I know
it's an interim title she got. Yeah, it's not a real title.
That's not a real title, but we already have the girl's been signed by Golden Boy. Can't tell you the name. We already have a fight at the 105 pound.
105 pounds?
100, yeah, that's her 105 and 108 is her weight class. She walks around at 112. You know, she moved up to fight Marlene Esparza.
That was at 112 or 115? 112, yeah.
And she ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday, all that whole week. Breakfast, at the day of the weigh-in, she ate breakfast and a light lunch, only weighed in 110.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So her weight class is 105 and 108. So we do have world titles from here on, and that's all we want, and that's all I'm asking all those world titles, at all you girls at 105 and 108, all world champions. That's all we want. Sign the contract. Period.
So you want to dominate those weight classes? Would you entertain a rematch with Marlene? From your side?
Well, we went up to her weight, so you want to come down to our weight, and really, why? I mean, we beat her.
Okay, but you guys aren't opposed if she comes down.
No, we're not close, you know, for the right money, and then she comes down to our weight. We went up to her weight. She went up to her weight, Seniesa, at 112. You know, you want to fight so bad, you claim we know blah, 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 like, you know, she does. Fine. Come on, fight her our weight. We moved up. You come down to 108.
Got you, Joe. Now, I'm going to be honest, because going into that fight with Marlene, I thought it was going to be a tough fight for Seniesa because of Marlene's pedigree.
Right.
And I was still in question of Seniesa's level of opposition. But what I underestimated in Seniesa is her will. Her will and that dog in her.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I underestimated, and that's what she showed in that fight.
She has a daddy's heart, bro. She has a daddy's heart. Not only that, Marlene's not the only one with the amateur. She has over 105 wins with 5 losses in the amateur. She's won all the national titles. She's won the Junior Olympics. She's been doing it since she was 8 years old. So she has that pedigree herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk much about it, but she does. And not only, like I said, she has a father's heart. And I taught her from the beginning. From the first time I saw her boxing, threw a ringer with a little boy. She was like 7 years old, and I figured, because I didn't want her to box, I said, I'm gonna throw her in there. Hey, when she went back to the corner, I see those little beady eyes, little like just glaring. It reminded me so much of me when I was out in the streets doing my thing, you know what I mean? And I said, from there on, I said, I started training her, and all through the amateurs, and look where she's at now. So
I looked at her record. She debuted, her professional debut was in 2011, and then she had another fight, and then she took 3 years off before she came in the ring for her third fight.
Yeah.
What was that 3 years off? Tell us about that.
Well, about that, it was kind of not as much as she took the week as she needed to. When 2010, she was preparing to go to the Olympics. At the end of 2010, early 2011, right before that fight, she dropped a 45-pound on her toe. And it took almost 2 years to heal. That was the real reason for her taking that layoff.
Gotcha. And she came back and knocked out the girl she went the distance with in her third fight.
Yes.
A couple other questions for you, Joe, just real quick, and I'll let you go. Clarissa Shields is looking, I mean, she's pound for pound #1 in women's boxing. She's looking to transition to MMA. Has that ever been something you and Seniesa have thought about? Or
no, Seniesa's passion is boxing.
Yeah. And what do you make of Clarissa making that move?
It's her decision. I mean, it's fine, but like, I don't know.
It's a whole nother world,
It's a whole nother world. You could, it's just another world. I mean, I'm not gonna go in there if I'm an MMA girl and I'm on a good level. I'm not gonna go in there and punch with this girl. I'm gonna take her down, and I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna do things in there and pound and grind. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that's what some of those girls are thinking, and to each his own. But my daughter, no, her passion is boxing. No matter the ups and downs for the women in boxing, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Her passion is boxing, period.
And Joe, last question. What did you make of, this is kind of a serious question, what did you make of Canelo's departure from Golden Boy?
Gee, you know what, it's hard. If he would have stood with Golden Boy, we would be fighting tonight on the card. We were planning the card.
Yeah, because the Marlin fight was on his undercard.
Yeah, it was on his undercard. So it's hard, it's all about money, and he was, he had a contract with them with a certain amount of monies they were asking him, I think, to get paid half of that amount. And I understand, I mean, hey, he wants to get paid, so it's kind of hard. I would have liked him because, he was on the undercard with November 2nd when the fight with Esparza, and we were planning on being tonight. We would have been fighting if he was still with Golden Boy, so it kind of hurts, you know what I mean? Because that's the big cards for us, but I wish him luck, and I can't do any hard will towards him, you know what I mean? It's a decision that was made between all of the parties, and it's done.